So there are 6 reasons very often that you have back pain that either caused it or is perpetuating. I mean, it went away, now it's coming back. So we're going to talk about those 6 reasons. And again, this is me here. And the reason we do this is for educational purposes. Don't use this to diagnose yourself. If you have a back pain, you need to get it diagnosed. We do this so you can live pain-free. I found a way out, and it's very, 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 very more effective than any other way. And our mission is to eliminate back pain from the planet, and it can be done. Now, the reason you have back pain, the reason you have it, and the reason it maybe went away and then came back is because of the disc. And what happens with the disc is you get a breakdown. So you've seen this before. 24 vertebrae. Between the head and the hips are 24 vertebrae, and in between each vertebrae there's a disc. The disc allows for motion. The disc is a lot like a jelly donut in the sense that the outside of the disc there's a thick material, and inside the disc there's a jelly substance. It looks like this. From the side view, this is the top view. Now the jelly distributes stresses evenly in all directions on the annulus, but sometimes when something goes out of balance or you have a dysfunction, it adds more stress to one part of the disc. So when you have a muscle imbalance or a hip imbalance or something happening that overloads a very specific part of the disc will break down. So if you have something that's causing stress in one portion of the disc, the annulus under the load will start to break down. And as it breaks down, what will happen is you'll develop a little tear in the annulus. And that tear will cause the annulus to start to push out, causing a bulging disc. And sometimes it tears further and it bulges further. And sometimes it tears all the way through. That's the advanced herniated disc. Now, it's this tear that starts to get aggravated. So when you have a tear on the disc, it gets aggravated from specific motion. And the vertebrae are designed to move like this, but what happens when you get out of balance? One muscle's too tight, one muscle's too weak. As I talk about muscles out of balance a lot, it loads part of that disc, and it will perpetuate the problem. So how does it start? Well, the number one reason, maybe not the most common, but this is pretty common, is the muscles of the core, okay? Your core muscles, really in the end, your core are your shoulders, your back, and your hips. But for this one, what we're talking about is the muscles in the front, which are the flexors, and the muscles in the back, which are the extensors. And you have side flexors as well, okay? But when these muscles, when the level of endurance is not the same, because they should be symmetrical. You should have the same amount of endurance on the back as you have in the front. Endurance is the ability to hold for an extended period of time. Now, if you have muscles that are out of balance, where the muscles in the back can hold longer or the muscles in the front can hold longer, when you're doing an activity that requires both sets of muscles, if the muscles in the front hold longer, what happens? The muscles in the back start to give out. And when they start to give out, you start to overload the disc. Endurance has to be in balance. What we have found, and what studies indicate, is when the endurance is not in balance, you increase the load on the disc and you perpetuate the problem. So if your muscles are out of balance, if you had treatment and your muscles will never rebalance, then very often the pain will come back, which is not what you want. If you sit for a long time and you have back pain, that's a disc problem. Studies indicate that if that does not go away, your future is going to be worse. You're going to have more disc problems. Part of our strategy is to alleviate the load on the disc and make the disc healthier, which is what we do. Okay? So that will perpetuate the problem. It's a dysfunction in the disc. Movement that begins in your spine, and we have 15 tips on how to move because everyday simple activities, the way you get out of a chair, the way you get out of your car, the way you get out of bed, all those types of things will load the disc. So there's a right way to do it and a wrong way to do it. If you do it wrong, you're going to have eventually back problems because doing it wrong overloads the disc. The hips are designed to move in a way that when you bend, if you use your hips, the hips have stronger muscles and they're designed to do that. The spine is designed to do it for a little bit, but not for extended periods of time and not to bear as much load. So when you bend with your hips, you're better than when you bend with your spine. But what we've found is people have habits, and their habit is to bend with their spine, and they think it's normal, okay? It might be normal, but it's also very dysfunctional. So it's not the best way to do it. It can be done, and it's designed to do it, but it's not designed to do it for long periods of time. And these tend to all be related. You don't have just one. Very often you have all six, especially in our clinics, because every patient that comes in our door has a disc problem because we treat disc problems, okay? The key for you is to understand why you have the problem. Again, it goes back, I get this all the time. Oh, I did that exercise that made me worse, okay? Because it's not necessarily the exercise you need. Okay, you have to figure out where your dysfunction is. What are your habits? What does it feel like when you move in certain positions? Because when you move and it hurts, very often what you're doing is you're aggravating this part right here. Okay, and it's perpetuating this part, and then it's aggravating the nerve, causing sciatica. Okay, sciatica goes away. It will go away, but if you do things wrong consistently, and part of what we need to do for you is train you, then it will start to heal. And as it heals, you start to get better. So asymmetrical movement, okay? Stiff hips. If your hips are too tight, I just talked about this one. If your hips are too tight, when you bend, what are you bending with? Your spine. I see this a lot with golfers. We treat a lot of golfers. We treat professional golfers and we treat recreational golfers, and they all have the same kind of problem. Tight hips, leading to more load on the spine. Okay? Golf is a rotation, but it's not just about golf. It's about any activity that requires movement. If the hips are too tight, the spine gets overloaded. Very important, but it's not just stiff hips. Very often it can happen more on one side than the other. It's an asymmetry. It's asymmetrical. Okay, if you have one hip that's tight or one hip that's stronger than the other, you have an asymmetry. And the asymmetry loads the disc. So the key is to figure out what the asymmetry is. Also, tight hamstrings. Hamstrings are the muscles here. There have been some studies that say tight hamstrings by themselves are not really a problem, but they're a bigger problem when you have one hamstring that's tighter than the other. Again, we have a 10-step process. And our 10-step process is designed to heal the disc because you have problems in the disc, and we do that better than anybody, and then restore normal function. Restore symmetry. If it's asymmetrical, one side's too tight or one side's too weak, or you don't have proper endurance in the hips, the hamstrings, okay, the core muscles, the endurance, and the way you move, if you don't have symmetry, you overload the disc. And when you overload the disc, what do? You're aggravating this. Okay? All the time. I see this all the time. People bend in ways that aggravate the disc. And they kind of know intuitively that when they do that, it hurts. But they continue to do it. Because you're aggravating this. And it's a habit. It's 100% a body habit. You've probably had it your whole life. It's not wrong. Just need to change it. It's not the best way to do it. Okay? We have a 10-step process that solves that. Our goal is to eliminate the load on the disc, restore symmetry, and get you feeling better. Now, I want you to like our page. I don't know what my computer's doing. I want you to subscribe to our channel. I want you to share our information. If you have back pain that's not going away, there is a way out. We have developed a 10-step process. Through this 10-step process, identifying dysfunction, asymmetry, muscle imbalance, endurance imbalance, you can live a normal, healthy life if you restore that back to normal. Okay, there's 6 reasons why you have back pain that's not going away. Okay, we know the pain's from the disc, but what's causing the problem in the disc? It's all those things we just talked about. So if you have a problem that's not going away, we can help. We can eliminate back pain from the planet. There's nobody that has back pain right now. I mean, there's some causes of back pain like fractures and cancer and infections. Okay, we don't treat those. That's somebody else. You have to go to somebody else for that. But if you have a mechanical cause of your back pain, we can help that. And that's 99% of all patients. Okay, certainly they come see us that have mechanical back problems. Restore function to the mechanics, the pain goes away. You don't have to live with it. Like, subscribe, share, comment on our page. We are here to help you. We are here to save the planet from back pain. There's more money for treatment of back pain than there is for the treatment of cancer. Okay? And there's really only 6 reasons you can have back pain that doesn't go away. The 6 that we just talked about. You eliminate those 6, you can live a healthy. I get patients ask me, okay, when I'm better, am I better? Yeah, if you restore the 6 and you don't do anything to perpetuate any of the 6, meaning you solve the problem and you keep it solved, it won't come back. Okay, but if you don't do simple exercises or you're not getting enough walking in your life, then you're probably going to have back pain because lack of walking and too much sitting creates an imbalance that we talked about the other day, which is called glute amnesia. Okay? All our videos are on YouTube. Subscribe to our channel, you'll get more videos. Okay, it's taking a little bit longer. It was a little bit complicated. I don't talk about too many complicated things, but people always want to know why. You're talking all these videos about how you do it, but how do we do it? Okay? There are levels of dysfunction. When you have those, you perpetuate the problem. The goal is to resolve those and your life gets better. So subscribe to our YouTube channel, and if you have any questions, call here.